And we are back on the Chosen baseball journey. The 2024 MLB playoffs are well underway, and we are here to dissect it all. With me, as always, Karim Garcia, superstar MLB player and fun-loving guy. A great friend of mine and guy that I love talking baseball and life with. I'm Jonathan A. Cohen, lawyer, Kormans LLP, and author of the Bible 3.0, the Six Commandments of the Chosen Life. And Kareem, I think you're getting into this book big time, and as far as the Six Commandments, because I'm dying to ask you, did you paint that picture behind you?
I did. No, I'm just kidding. Who about it?
What inspired it? I love it. It's breathtaking.
I know it is. This is something else that you can just sit over there and stare for a while. And as more you stare and see it, you can see different faces in the same picture, and it gives me some type of calm to myself, because I'm really always too hyper, and sometimes you just watch it, sit and relax a little bit.
Oh, I love it. It's very serene. It's very peaceful. My mom once told me I watched the TV show and the parents didn't want the kids to fight over all the possessions once they passed away. So they took stickers and put behind everything a sticker with people's names and said, "This is going to be yours one day. You're going to find out in the afterlife. If you want to put my name on the back of that picture, I would appreciate it." No, I'm joking,
You
but that
got
is
it. I'm not going anywhere anytime soon anyway. So
honestly, I feel like it's Buddha in the jungle. I feel it's very alive. There's
it
there's
is.
so much going on there. Much the way is going on in the MLB playoffs. I'm wearing, of course, a Chosen Baseball Journey shirt, and you are wearing
Sultanes, Monterrey Sultanes. That's the baseball team that I play in Mexico in the summer league.
amazing. How are the Sultanes doing this year?
They went to the playoff. They went to the finals. They lost, but hey, it's always just they're close to not the Yankees, more like the Dodgers. They always make the playoff and they always lose at the end.
Well, at the time of taping, this particular episode is being taped in a very strategic, strange time, October 10th, 2024, a Thursday. I'm going to give a little hint here. By the time this comes out, there have been certain results that have already happened, and we have pre-taped it. So today's episode, I'm going to jump in because Kareem, I feel your pain. You predicted the Blue Jays winning the World Series and things did not go the way. Well, imagine how I feel 2 years in a row when I predict the Phillies are going to take it all. And lo and behold, meet the Mets, meet the Mets. Those miracle Mets.
Yes.
I I'm a believer. I don't think anybody could stop them. I think they got hot at the right time. And I am predicting the Mets for the 2024 World Series.
Wow, that's incredible. That'd be amazing, but they still gotta go through the Yankees if they go on the Subway Series again. The other thing is, those teams that came last on the six place for the wild card, and if you see the last 2 years how it happens, the teams that get the bye, that they don't play the first playoff, they usually getting taken out early. And those other teams that have been playing, they get hot and they go all the way to the World Series. Unfortunately, the last couple of years, the numbers don't lie, and this is what's been happening. So will happen this year again. The Mets are on the roll. Tigers are on the roll. I mean, it's gonna be another year with the same thing, or one of the teams that came on first place will step up and actually do their job.
Well, I read a really good article the other day about the Phillies and Robbie Thompson. And I love Robbie Thompson, Canadian guy, Canadian Baseball Hall of Fame. But Robbie Thompson, you have this thing about falling in love with relievers that are, let's put it this way, shaky at best.
Yeah,
Last year, Craig Kimbrell, remember him?
yeah.
And he was starting to the lifeboat started to fill up with water, and Robbie Thompson just kept putting that lifeboat out there. And Craig Kimbrell didn't even make it to the playoffs this year. He was so bad that the Orioles let him go before the playoffs even started. This year for the Phillies, I would say their most consistent reliever would have been Hoffman. And something happened to Hoffman. Playoffs start, and he's not the same Hoffman. He had a big layover, didn't pitch for many days. Then he starts pitching, not doing well, and Thompson just keeps running him out. Estevez, as solid as he was for the Angels, once he went on a playoff team, Kareem, it comes down to it, man. Yeah, remember that Kansas City World Series year when you
Yeah,
got a solid pen and you got a solid seventh, eighth, nine, you're loving your life. Just ask the Tigers.
absolutely. It's just the Tigers right now and the Mets are doing everything the right way. For the Mets, that they lose their closer, due to injury and coming back, Diaz. Now all of a sudden you're asking Diaz to get 5 outs, not three. To make it, or at least to hold the team. And the guy's doing everything, but he's gonna get tired. I mean, this is 190 game already. 170 game. I'm sorry. This is way too many games. People is tired. You keep running the same guys that have been pitching the whole year. I mean, your luck is gonna get to so far. That's it.
Kareem, you remember something called spring training as well, my friend. Adding all the games from spring training. It's been a long year when you combine spring training, regular season, now the playoffs. I kept saying the Tigers, made a mistake. Obviously, moving on from Flaherty, they probably would have loved to have another starter in there. By the way, how good would Trevor Bauer look on any of the teams right now in the playoffs? Just saying. But you take a look at the Dodgers, you take a look at the Tigers, and what are they doing? They're playing Cuban baseball. They're running out openers left, right, and center. If the Tigers win the World Series, I think you're going to see a run on openers. All of a sudden, you're going to see all these teams trying to copycat again, and maybe a five-man rotation ain't the way to go.
Yeah, I mean they had tried 6 man rotation, five guys. Back in the days were four. Now we're talking about 5, 6 guys. Now bringing the bullpen, bringing guys to start 3, 4 innings, and then bring a starter. I mean, they're trying to do different things, play off a different monster for sure. But I think the way to go is always the same. Is you got your 4 guys for the playoff, no 5, 4 guys, 1 through 4. You got to win 4 out of 7. That's it. So, I mean, I'm going the classic way. I don't know what else can they do.
Well, let's start with the Phillies. This is the last I'm going to speak of them probably this year, or at least this month, till the World Series is done. I don't understand Kareem. They had it all. They had a solid lineup. They had monster boppers. They had Schwarber. They had Harper. They had Castellanos, all the playoff heroes. They had a solid rotation. I get the pen was a little leaky. Is this a case where the Phillies failed horribly, or the Mets simply were too hot and caught heat at the right time for the Phillies?
I think it's a little bit of both. The Phillies did make a couple of mistakes, and Schwarber wasn't the guy they were looking for. I mean, listen, unorthodox, a lead up hitter, and we always know that. It's either get you a 1-0 lead or he's going to strike out. Yes, he gets some base and stuff like that, but you got other guys that can actually do the job. And if you actually flip the guy instead of put on number 1 lead off, you put him on 9 spot. So one time around the lineup, he will come up as a leadoff hitter on the next time. But I mean, that's just the one thing. And the other thing is the Mets. They just got hot. The guys got hot at the right time, and it's almost impossible to stop a team like that because everything they do, they're doing it right.
So the Phillies reflect on their 2024 going into 2025. Do they blow it up? Do they make a couple changes here or there? Is it simply a managerial change that's needed? Where do you see the Phillies going with it? Because I have a couple of ideas.
They are going to have to not blow it up, of course. They're going to make a couple of changes. They're going to have to make a couple starting pitchers. It's always in the pitching and the bullpen. And yes, you have to have one more bat maybe for them because they're powerful. They got a little bit of speed, but they don't have the speed that you need to actually make more runs because they are you have to hit a double, a single, or whatever it is. I mean, a double to get these guys to home plate because they're a little bit heavy on that side.
Well, if I'm going to look into my crystal ball, I'm going to tell you on the high side, they're going to get Devin Williams somehow out of the Brewers because the Brewers showed they could do it all year without him. He was injured for most of the year. He comes in, does the job, obviously, but money wise is going to speaking. I think they're going to sell high on him. So, in a perfect world for the Phillies, a Devin Williams in there, then it's World Series 2025, or they're going to go for a Kenley Jansen. I think the pen first and foremost, and they thought they had four quasi closers in there, but it goes to show you when you got a Josh Hader, a Devin Williams, when you have the lockdown guy, it makes a big difference. So I think that's what they're going to go with. And I hate to say it, like Robbie Thompson a lot, but it's a lot easier to change one manager than it is to change 26 players. And maybe it's time for a different voice because you've done this already 2 years. You came so close. You can only run it so many times so these guys get older. Guys leaving free agency. I think the Phillies still have a window. I still like their chances, but they're going to have to think of something.
Yes, I mean everybody thought, and you said it, and I actually bought it because the Phillies looked so good through the whole year. They were winning. They put in the scores. I mean, pitching was looking good. And all of a sudden, and I don't want to mention again, but again, it will be the Dodgers. It's the same thing with the Dodgers. As soon as they get to the playoff, their mentality of managing and playing is different. Why? I don't know. They're good. You have all the talent in the world. You have the best players in the world right there, and you show it through 162 games, and you put the name playoff. Now all of a sudden your chip change, and all of a sudden you start panicking and thinking about something else because the pressure is that you have to win and be to the World Series. That's what I think, and I see these teams going all over the last few years at least.
Well, the time of taping, we got San Diego, LA tied at 2 apiece. The deciding game 5 is coming up in another day. Your money, you still going with the Padres on this one?
I have to. I mean, I like the Dodgers. I like the way they play, but the Padres has the momentum right now for me. I mean, you cannot stop Tatis Jr., Machado, all these guys. They're doing their job. Their bullpen is solid. They are. I mean, they are like this. They're ready, and they're looking forward to knock down the Dodgers. They've been every single year for the last 11 years, making the playoff and winning the division.
So Padres take over Dodgers. I agree with you. They go on to face the Mets. Who's going to the World Series at this point for you?
It have to be the Padres. To me, it has to be the Padres. Better team. I mean, all respects to the Mets and everything else, but to me, the Padres, if they win the game 5 against the Dodgers, they're going to the World Series for sure. I mean, not for sure, nothing is sure, but.
And while I agree with you, Mets and Padres, I see the Mets now. I've been watching them enough. I like the formula. I see what they've constructed here, and we'll talk about them in a moment. So I'm gonna go with the Mets on that one. Then we go over to the AL. Detroit's got a 2-1 lead on Cleveland. Whether they decided in game 4, game 5. I'm seeing the Tigers all the way in that one. Yourself?
I'm seeing the Detroit Tigers, and you can see it's as simple as the Cleveland Indians have not scored a run in 20 innings so far. They got 2 shutouts already out of 3 games. Tigers are impressive with their pitching and their key hitting. So these guys, I'm sure they're gonna go to the next one, the American League Championship Series, ALCS.
The Tigers just have too strong a pitching. No matter who they throw out there, pretty much they're locked down. They're getting timely hits. But Karim, my thing on Tigers, if the bats wake up the way they can, and they have had games where they scored 6+ runs, if their lineup actually gets going, it could be very, very scary for the rest of the AL. KC Yankees. Yankees are up 2-1 on this one. Where do you see that one going?
Hey, Giancarlo Stanton finally woke up yesterday and got a double, an RBI, a home run, put the game on top. But surprisingly, the guy that everybody will expect to be doing great, which is Aaron Judge, is hitting 0.91 in average. Is not doing nothing. And if this guy doesn't wake up, even if they make to the American League Championship Series, the ALCS, I don't see the Yankees going far.
So you're in Vegas, you're putting money on it, Yankees or Royals?
Oh, I'm not taking Yankees. They're gonna win. They're gonna go to the ALCS. But if their bats don't wake up, I don't see them going to the World Series, unfortunately.
I want to say the Yankees so badly. And Yankees fans, please don't hate me because I love your team. I've loved your team for many years. I share a birthday, not only with Nick Swisher, but Joe DiMaggio, little known fact, two of my favorite players. And I go to look them up and I have the same birthday as them. How does that work out in the universe? So I want to say the Yanks. I feel the Yanks, but the thing is that bullpen with the Royals, all I'm seeing is the Royals staying close, and I see Clay Holmes coming on, and I start to get heartburn. And if I were the Yanks, I would have asked Stroman to stay on the roster. I would have told Holmes to go home, but it's gonna be tight. Regardless, I think that one's gonna go to a game five. I just now I can see this Tigers Royals thing happening. So, regardless, Royals, Yanks versus Tigers. Who from the AL is going to the World Series, Kareem, and why?
All right. So you're saying Tigers Royals if they make it to the ALCS, right? So
Begrudgingly, yes.
Detroit for sure. Better pitching. Pitching always gonna get the upper hand on hitting. So with good pitching and these guys just scoring 1 or 2 runs is enough. They showed it against Cleveland, which is a great team, and paper is better team Cleveland than Detroit. And they put 20 innings without making a run against the Cleveland Indians, which is a hitting team, supposedly. So I see Detroit going to the World Series if those two teams get to face each other.
Before I forget to ask you, Stephen Kwan, the catch of the year. Did he really catch it? I watched that thing 100 times, slow motion, zoomed. That diving catch. Did he make that catch or not?
No,
I don't think so either. I feel
that ball bounced on the grass.
it did, right?
Yes, it did. I saw it.
Right.
And every time they saw it for different angles, I saw it. He's speaking. I mean, he got trapped on the glove. He didn't catch it clean.
There's, let's say, 10 angles. 9 angles look to me it hit the ground. There's one angle it looks like he scooped it. Otherwise, I don't think he caught it. But because they ruled it out, then if there's a tiebreaker, they go with their initial call. I don't think he made that catch, but man, he came close, but that looked great.
Oh, hey, look, I'm fantastic. Good for him, but no, it was not to me, it's not a catch. Me being an outfielder, and then so many times I had trap balls that look like I catch him on the air, but because of the angle of the glove and the way that you throw in the hand, you cannot really see that the ball actually hit the ground, but he did. I mean, I'm watching and on my own heart, I know that he did.
How good do you feel if you're Kerry Carpenter hitting that 3-run home run?
Incredible. Imagine that.
If it was me, I would have that home run going on replay on my TV indefinitely. I would have posters of that home run all over my home. I would just live that home run. That's going to be the biggest moment of his career, and felt pretty good. And trust me, Pete Alonso, I'm sure felt really good as well, because whoa, did he come up in the right time and save the Mets season, and he's going to take them all the way to the World Series. Pretty freaking cool moments already, and we still got lots of baseball to go.
Yeah, I mean, Pete Alonso hitting that bomb that he hit opposite field. He did go with the pitch. They were pitching him outside. He just extended the arms and got to right field and hit the jack over there. I mean, that's a defining moment for him for his career with the Mets. This guy, the Mets got to sign this guy back. Somehow, some way, they're going to have to find out and talk about it as soon as they finish the World Series or whatever it is and sign him back, because that guy is a Met for life, I think.
So we got Mets and Tigers. We agree on that in the World Series now at this point. And who's taking it and how many games will it go? Where do you see it going, Kareem? What's your crystal ball telling you?
If I gotta go with those two teams, I'm definitely taking the Mets.
In how many games?
Mets over Detroit.
In how many games?
How many games? 6 games. Six, yes, six.
That's what I had. Yes. The reason being is I think that the Tigers pitching is going to keep them in it enough, but the Tigers got to start hitting. The Mets, before we get even into the hitting part of it and where I see it going, you know, you go shopping for pitchers and you go to Walmart and you go after Boxing Day and you go January 3rd and you go for pick over the leftovers and you're sitting there and you got a Jose Quintana and you got a Luis Severino and a Sean Manaea and you know all guys that they have the stuff, they have the talent, but can they ever hold it together? Can they stay healthy? If, but, if. And man, Sean Manaea did what I told him to do: shave, cut the hair, cut the beard, get real, get serious, and he's pitching like an ace. Cody Senga, remember him? He's lurking around, pitching an inning here, pitching an inning there. David Peterson, you know what? Can you come in and give us 3, 4 shutout innings? No problem. Done. When all your pitchers are going at the same time and you have a lockdown closer, you're pretty hard to beat.
It is. I mean, and just you mentioned it. I mean, if your starter gives you 6 innings, maybe seven, because it's difficult nowadays that a starting pitcher gives you 7 innings. But the way that I've been watching these games, I haven't seen a starting pitchers throwing into the seven with only 75, 80 pitches. Not that only they're being really consistent, they're being right to the point and getting the outs really quick, getting innings out with 8 pitches, 10 pitches max. So you can actually extend your starting pitcher and then you give the ball not to your setup man, all the way to your closer to get 5 outs if you need it to win a game. That's what I've seen in a few of the games that I watched so far.
In my mind, Kareem, you compare the Dodgers to the Mets and Tigers, who were calling for the World Series. To me, if the Dodgers had either the Mets or the Tigers pitching staffs, they're sweeping everybody and run into the World Series with that hitting. So pitching all day long, difference maker. And the Dodgers, I just don't think had enough of it this year. They had a lot of injuries. Like they accumulated a lot of pitchers, don't get me wrong, but when more than half your rotation is on the IR, IL, not going to help you much.
No, I mean the Dodgers have the talent, they have the pitching, they have the hitting, they have everything. Unfortunately, like you mentioned it, through the whole year they got 4 starting pitchers on the IL. They're coming, they're going. They're never getting into a position though you have everybody together to actually do the things that they're supposed to be doing. So for me to see the Dodgers winning the World Series is really difficult because they never put their pitching or their pitcher stuff together. They have hitting wise, they win games because of that. But when you face pitching, that's very difficult. What's going on right now with Otani? Otani got the first jack on the first game, and after that, it's not being the same. It's not the Otani that everyone is expecting to be.
Listen, the man can't go 6 for 6 and 3 home runs every single game, and the thing is, they got to pitch around him a little bit, and when they do, you got Mookie Betts lurking, and the question is Freeman healthy, not healthy, and this makes a big difference. You pull Freeman out of the lineup, all of a sudden, you can pitch around them a little more. When you have Betts, Otani, and Freeman all going, and by the way, remember Teoscar got a grand slam, and Will Smith is lurking. Like they got a lot of hitting, but looking at the Mets lineup. And having watched enough games this year, like uh Francisco Alvarez, like looking at their catcher, like he had magical moments this year where he was like a top MLB hitter for a stretch. Alonso obviously did what he did. Iglesias just steps in for McNeil and he becomes a world beater out of nowhere. Vientos has been steady. Lindor, as soon as they put him at the top of the lineup, look at what he's been doing. Lindor has played like finally like that superstar that they've been craving. And you got Nemo and you got Marte and Winker and Bader, and you have all these guys lurking. It's a nice mix. It's working. And one or two guys can get hot, one or two guys are steady, and that's all you need. As long as your lineup doesn't go ice cold, the Mets, they're a team. Like to me, watching their games now, Kareem, they are playing like a team. There's camaraderie like a team. They have gelled together, they have banded together, and they're playing for each other. And when a team has that much chemistry and energy, they're pretty hard to stop.
Yes, yeah, it's the same thing happened with the Arizona Diamondbacks when they went all the way to the World Series, coming from the wild card. They are on their moment. They're unstoppable. Everything is coming together right now. I'm happy for them, and like I told you, it's going to be very difficult for a team to actually beat the Mets because they got the same momentum going like they did with the Arizona Diamondbacks last year. Now, hey, I hope they win the whole thing, but once you get to the World Series, it's a completely different monster, and I will talk about that too, because one thing is winning your division, winning your league, your National League champion, but now the World Series, completely different monster.
Assuming the Tigers do make it to the World Series, what do they need to do to overtake the NL, likely the Mets? Where do the Tigers, everything that, like you're saying now, it's one thing to get here, another thing to get there. Like they're a team that we're not expecting. And they were sellers at the deadline. At what point do the Tigers, if they make the World Series, what do they need to do get over that hump to stop saying, oh, we're playing on house money here and we're just lucky to be here and we have nothing to lose? What do they have to do to take it into next gear and not get swept, not get beat out in the World Series, and actually take the World Series this year?
I don't see anybody beating up the Tigers in the World Series. I think if these guys are continuing to doing with their pitching what they're doing right now, actually the Tigers could be the winners out of the whole thing because their pitching is very tough right now. And they showed against a hitting team, which is Cleveland, because Cleveland is a hitter's ballpark. The ball carries a lot. These guys are always just two hitting, having 5, 6 runs putting on the board at any time, because if they get hot, they can do it. But all of a sudden, with good pitching, you're not even getting hits. You're getting 1, 2 hits, 3 hits a game. So if the Tigers continue to do the same thing, with their pitchers, or actually their pitchers continue to do their job, it's going to be a very difficult team to beat.
We shall see. Let's go Tigers. Let's go Mets. Let's see what happens. And tell you this, if New York Mets fans get a World Series, man, they're going to be celebrating, and Alonso wins World Series MVP. $200 million is in your future, my friend, at least.
It is.
At
I'll
least.
tell you something funny.
Yes.
When I was watching the playoff this year, I feel like every day I can put a different jersey for a team that I play for. I play for the Dodgers. I play for the Tigers. I play for the Mets. I play for the Orioles. I play for the Yankees. And I'm missing one. Cleveland.
That's true.
I could have put a different jersey every day just to watch a playoff.
It's a Kareem 2024 playoffs. That's true. You almost had a good sweep there. So,
yeah. And I play on the spring training for the Phillies.
Uh-huh. There you go. So you actually came very, very close. So the only team missing was the Padres and the Royals.
That is correct.
Yeah. Well, listen, my friend, there's lots of coaching vacancies around the league constantly opening up. Maybe we'll see Karim Garcia on the back of a jersey in the future. You never, ever know.
I know. I will hope so. Believe me.
Fans, send in your questions, comments for Karim Garcia. What are your predictions for the 2024 playoffs? Do you love our predictions? Do you think that we are out to left field? Let us know. And we'll be back next week where we're going to look at the teams that did not make the final cuts, that did make it to the playoffs, but did not last very long, and what went wrong and how to fix them. Stay tuned. Chosen Baseball Journey.